He screamed, but no one heard. The machine was supposed to heal, not kill. March 21, 1986, East Texas Cancer Center. Ray Cox walked in for his 9th radiation session. Routine treatment, nothing unusual, until everything went wrong. The machine, a Therac-25, Canada's pride in medical tech. It promised flexibility, both electron beams and X-rays. 8 treatments before had gone perfectly, but the 9th became a nightmare. As the operator pressed start, Ray felt electric fire, a sharp pain, like a lightning strike through his back. That wasn't supposed to happen, he knew immediately. He leapt up, confused, terrified, pounding on the door. The live camera feed was broken that day. Nobody saw his agony, nobody rushed in time. The operator, unaware, pressed the button again. Another beam, another jolt, this time his arm. Ray described it as being torn from inside. A doctor checked him and shrugged. Looks like an electrical shock, you'll be fine. The machine was tested, seemed normal, continued treatments. But Ray's body was not fine. Weeks later, nausea, vomiting, paralysis. He lost control of his left arm. Then his voice faltered, muscles collapsing. 5 months later, he was dead. Not from cancer, but from radiation overdose. He was prescribed 180 rads. Instead, he received up to 25,000 rads. That's more than Hiroshima survivors absorbed near ground zero. His skin burns were only the first clue. The real damage hid inside his DNA. His cells, overwhelmed, could not repair themselves. Acute radiation syndrome, the same fate as Chernobyl firefighters. And Ray was not alone. At least 5 other Therac-25 victims followed. 3 more deaths, 2 lifelong injuries. How could one machine do so much harm? The story starts with design arrogance. Therac-25 replaced hardware safety with software checks. Earlier machines had interlocks, physical safeguards. If the metal target wasn't aligned, beam stopped. On Therac-25, software alone made the call. No hardware backup, no second line of defense. And that software, written by one programmer. No peer review, no external testing. The code borrowed from older machines. Old patches, old assumptions, new risks. Worse, the operator interface was confusing. Typing X for X-ray, E for electrons. But typed too quickly, and disaster struck. The system half-switched modes. High-intensity electron beam, no metal target. Direct, raw radiation blasted straight into flesh. That's what happened to Ray Cox. The manual didn't explain the cryptic errors. Malfunction 54 flashed repeatedly that day. The operator ignored it, thinking it minor. In truth, it meant lethal dosage mismatch. The manual simply said dose input error. No warning about death, no alarm. The perfect Swiss cheese model of disaster. Each slice, one safeguard, full of holes. Normally, holes don't align. But that day, every hole lined up. Hardware removed, software flawed, operator uninformed. Nothing stopped the deadly beam. The Canadian company, AECL, denied fault initially. They blamed hospitals, blamed operators, blamed misuse. But evidence piled up, lawsuits followed. Investigations revealed the truth. It wasn't one freak accident. It was systemic negligence, overconfidence in code, and one lonely programmer's burden. Imagine your code in charge of human lives. No oversight, no testing, just deadlines. That single choice killed 4, Main 2. The tragedy redefined medical software standards. Mandatory safety audits were born. Independent verification became essential. Hardware interlocks were reinstated. And the Therac-25 permanently recalled. The victims forced medicine to learn. Their suffering built today's safeguards. But lessons go beyond hospitals. We live in a software-ruled world. Cars drive themselves on code. Airplanes land guided by code. Bank accounts exist as lines of code. And we trust those codes blindly. But remember, every program has a human behind it. Humans miss things, humans cut corners, humans fail. A single bug can destroy lives. NASA lost Mars climate orbiter to a metric mismatch. One team used pounds, the other used newtons. A $327 million spacecraft burned in Martian atmosphere. In 1996, Ariane 5 rocket exploded mid-air. Reason? A software overflow error. Billions lost in 37 seconds. In 2012, Knight Capital lost $440 million. All in 45 minutes, from one software glitch. But Therac-25 was worse. Because it wasn't money or machines. It was people, trusting doctors to heal them, and dying instead. The moral is simple, redundancy saves lives. Software must not replace hardware safety. Testing must be independent, rigorous, merciless. And transparency matters, manuals must tell the truth. Technology is powerful, but fallible. It heals, it kills, it depends on us. Ray Cox didn't know his death would change history, but his story is now taught worldwide. In engineering, in medicine, in software ethics. He is remembered every time a safeguard is built, every time an interlock prevents disaster, every time code is reviewed before deployment. The tragedy is his legacy. So next time you hear it's just a bug, remember, sometimes a bug can kill. Do you trust the code running your life? Should we let machines decide life and death, or will we demand safety in every line? That's a question only society can answer, and it starts with awareness. Stories like Therac-25 must not be forgotten, because history ignored becomes tragedy repeated. Stay curious, stay critical, stay safe, and if this story shocked you, subscribe. More hidden science tragedies await you here, and together we'll make sure history never repeats.